And welcome everyone to your online yoga class. For this session, I have my mic attached to me. We're going to begin our practice in a child's pose. Today's class will be on the theme of strong body, strong mind. So it's going to be a challenging, foundational, mixed in with some vinyasa style practice. Please modify as you need. Set an intention for your time on your mat. Allow yourself some grace, some space, and some patience as we navigate through this sequence. So coming into child's pose, if you're not there already, starting with a few deep breaths. And inhale deeply through your nose. Holding at the top of the inhale. And then a slow sigh through the mouth as you exhale. Again, pausing at the bottom of that breath out. Inhale again. Holding to your full capacity, feeling the expansion of your lungs, lingering, and then exhale slowly through the mouth. Again, pausing at the bottom of the breath out. And one more just like that. Inhale to your full capacity. And slowly release. Come forward into tabletop. Move through a variation of cat-cow or sequence of cat-cow that suits your body. Maybe this is the first little bit of movement you're doing today. Just using this opportunity to check in. So changing up the movement to any expression that feels good in your spine, your hips, your shoulders. Experiment with cobra, up dog, child's pose, to cobra. Tucking the toes under, start bringing awareness to the feet. We'll take downward facing dog when you're ready. Continue that exploration of movement as you pedal through the legs. You can even bend into the elbows. And shift the hips from right to left. Come into stillness for at least one deep breath. So ground into the hands, ground into the feet. Soft bend in the knees as you tip the tailbone up to the sky. Inhale through the nose. And then a slow exhale through the mouth. And articulating into the spine, roll forward into a high plank. So start to feel the activation of the legs, the arms, your core. And checking in with the breath. Notice if it feels a little rigid, short, fast. Can you slow it down? Can you deepen it? And then downward dog as you roll back, exhale. Moving with breath, inhale, come forward, high plank. Exhale, roll back, downward facing. Again, inhale, high plank. And exhale, downward facing. Come forward into plank. And then lower down all the way to your stomach as you exhale. Keep the hands where they are. Come into baby cobra, inhale. And lower down, exhale. 2 more times, inhale. And exhale. Last one, staying at the top. Inhale, pushing down through the top of the pelvis. Trying to lift the belly button off the mat. Broaden into the collarbone. Feel activation in the upper back. Activation in the glutes, the legs. Again, monitor the breath. And release the chest. Tuck the toes under. Lift the kneecaps. High plank. Hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, and downward dog, exhale. You're going to lower down onto the knees. Set up for flying integration. What's a Panther yoga class without Lolasana to start the practice? So plant into the hands and then drive the knees up towards your chest. Holding for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. Lift the knees higher for 2. Exhale, release. Good news, you have 2 more. Take a breath in. And exhale, drive into the hands. Try not to be a bit overwhelmed by your experience. So acknowledge if this is challenging. Acknowledge what your biggest challenges are right now. And can you find a way to coexist with that intensity without giving up? 3. And find perseverance for 2. And exhale, release. You get 1 breath. Big inhale. And a big exhale. And our last one, always the best one. Drive into the hands, strengthen into the arms, flex into the spine as you lift your thighs up. Or shift the weight forward over the fingertips. Keep the pelvis low. Compression into the front of the body. Lift the knees higher. 5, 4, 3, 2, and release. A little bit of movement to reset the arms and the wrists. So now that the tone is set for our practice, let's begin. Downward facing dog. You're going to take the right leg up to the ceiling. Inhale. The right knee taps to the back of the right tricep as you exhale. Take it back up on the inhale. Tap it to the back of the tricep. Exhale. Last one. Inhale. Back of the tricep. Exhale. Step the right foot to the right pinky finger. Come up onto the fingertips. Lift your chest. Inhale. Draw your hips back. Exhale. One more time. Inhale. And the hips go back. Exhale. Last one. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale, come forward. This time step the left foot up. Come into your variation of active squat. Lifting the arms overhead. See if you can wrap the hands around the forearms. Bend the knees deeper. Find more hip flexion. Exhale, sink deeper. It's almost like you're trying to drive your feet away from one another to start activating into the glutes and outer thighs. A little bit lower here. You're going to start to feel your breath activate. A little bit deeper, exhale. Lift the arms up. Fight the fight. Take the arms up, inhale. Back to active squat with the hands to the heart center, exhale. Plant your palms on the floor, step or hop back, vinyasa. Skip these vinyasas if you're not feeling them today. Or add your push-ups, add your spice. Left leg lifts up. Knee to the back of the tricep. Take it up. Back of the tricep. And up. Last one, back of the tricep. Linger for a second. Step the foot up. Inhale, your chest lifts. Exhale, draw the hips back. Inhale, come forward. Exhale, draw back. One more time, inhale. Feel the lower belly lift. Exhale. Inhale, come forward. Step the right foot up, active squat. Again, reaching the hands for the forearms. You can tip the upper body forward a little bit as you drive the hips down and back. So you are stabilizing along the spine. Almost feeling like you're doing a cobra in the upper back. Set the weight more into the heels, but keep the toes grounded. Here for 5, 4, 3, 2. Inhale, sweep overhead. Active squat, hands come down to the heart. Plant the palms on the inhale. Step or hop back. Exhale, your vinyasa. Nice and slow, controlled movements. Paying attention to the activation, the intention. Lowering your knees onto the mat. Kick your left foot to the back of the mat. Come into a modified side plank. The left arm reaches up. See if you can hover your left foot off the mat. And then just maybe you reach the left hand for the instep of the left foot. So kicking back into your hand. Feeling almost like you're in a dancer shape, but not standing. So create resistance between the hand and the foot. Feel the lower belly lift to help protect the low back. Are you clenching your teeth together? Are you frowning? Can you soften the expression in your face? And then coming back into a three-pointed tabletop so that left leg stays lifted. You're going to reach your right hand to the outside edge of your foot this time. So kick actively into the hand, almost like you're trying to straighten the left leg towards the ceiling. Shift the weight forward over the left fingertips. And you want to feel that cobra show up in your upper back. And you can hear my breath. I'm doing the work just like you are. Hold it. 3, 2. Take just the right hand to the floor. Continue to keep the left leg lifted. Down dog split. Take the leg up to the sky. Exhale, bring the knee to your chest. Round into the upper back. And then step the left foot in between the hands. Attempt not to lift the palms off the ground. Come into Anjaneyasana, low lunge. What I want you to think about or consider as you move through these postures is containment. So it's not a feeling of spilling out and indulging per se into the back bends and into your flexibility and mobility perhaps, but rather finding some capacity of containment to activate into the deeper layers of your core. So the back toes are tucked under. You're going to lift your right knee off the floor, come into a high lunge. Find activation in the right glute. Push out a little bit harder into the right heel. Again, so containment into the torso. So lower front ribs cinch in. Top of the hip bones lift up towards the sternum very so gently. Like in the moment, just trying to come up with the key. Like, what are those words? And I'll look ever so gently. And then tipping your upper body forward, you're going to try to lock your arms into this position. Bend into the left knee a little bit more. Lift the belly off of your thigh and find the containment within the expression. Here for 5, 4, 3, 2. Come back to high lunge. Commit to the lunge, bend deeper into the left knee. And then take the hands down to the floor. Great work. Step back into a high plank. Option to flow. Take a full breath in. Maybe a sigh out. Coming down onto hands and knees. And this time extending the right leg back. Come into your modified side plank. Take a moment to feel the stability or the instability of this pose. Hover the right foot, and the right hand reaches for the instep. It's like a dancer's grip. Create resistance, kicking your foot into your hand. Actively turning the right shoulder towards the sky. Checking in with your breath. And then keeping the right leg lifted, lower the right hand to the floor. Take your left hand, reach it towards the outside edge of your foot this time. Again, the tendency here is to spill the weight back. I want you to focus on keeping the weight forward so you feel the stacking of the elbow, the shoulder, and the wrist joint. So kick into the foot. Again, like you want to straighten the leg up to the ceiling. Check the expression in your face. unnecessary habitual tension. Find the containment. Lower the left hand to the floor. Down dog split. Lift the right leg up. Knee comes forward to your chest. Again, finding flexion in the spine, compression in the torso, flexion in the hip, stacking of the shoulders, the elbows, and the wrists. Step the right foot between the hands. Lower the left knee to the floor. Come up into Anjaneyasana, low lunge. Exhale to deepen the stretch. Within the stretch, again, find the containment. Find the activation. So I am pushing down into my feet. I'm pushing down into my left toes. I'm working at lifting, scooping the pubic bone in front of the pelvis up towards the sternum. Finding activation even in your arms here. The triceps, this elevation of the shoulders. And dig into the back foot as you start to lift the left knee off the mat. Notice if you're holding back on the lunge, because you know how long we're going to be here for. And a steady breath, or even if it's not steady, can you accept it? You're going to hinge the upper body forward, come to that thunderbolt shape. And the arms are going to want to lower. Fight the fight and keep them lifted. Even if you are elevating in the shoulders, that is fine. Broaden into the chest. And then take the arms back up, high lunge. In this moment, can you show up? Can you be courageous? Take the hands down to the floor and step back into your flow. Big breaths. And exhale. Take a full inhale. And a long exhale. One more time. Inhale. And exhale. Take the right leg to the sky. Bring the knee to your chest. Step the right foot in between your hands. Starting the journey with high lunge. Take the arms up. Right away, come into thunderbolt. The torso tip forward. Inhale, come back up to high lunge. And then come into goddess squat. So externally rotate the hips. And then bend the knees. And take the arms overhead, interlace the fingers, press your palms to the sky. Again, the containment within your torso, activation within the spaciousness. And to simply just tip the upper body forward. You're going to send your hips back. You're going to keep the knees bent. See if you can bring the torso parallel to the mat. Push the palms out. Straighten your arms. Bend your knees deeper. You hold yourself accountable to doing the work you came here to do today. Hold it 4, 3, 2, and then straighten the legs. Come into a wide-legged forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Just press into the fingertips. Walk the hands back to the top of the mat. And then arrive back into a high plank. Option again to flow or skip the vinyasa. Right away, left leg extends. Knee to your chest. Step the foot in between the hands. Come into your high lunge. Find the fluidity as you breathe, hinging forward into thunderbolt. Inhale, bring it up. High lunge. Arrive in goddess squat. So rotating the feet out to the sides. This time cactus your elbows as you arrive in your position. You guys are doing great. This is tough. I'm starting to sweat. Definitely feeling the fire of this practice, let me tell ya. Tipping the upper body forward. Nice work. Keep lifting the arms up. Fight against gravity here. Beautiful. Turn up the heat. Here for 5, 4, 3, 2. Straighten the legs. Forward fold. Exhale. Halfway lift. Inhale. Bring the hands back to the top of the mat. Watch for the change. You're going to step forward into Utkatasana. Feet can be hip width distance. Bring the arms overhead. Take the hands to the heart center. Exhale, twist to the right. Notice how I'm not shifting my pelvis. Try to keep the hips as neutral as possible and find rotation in the upper back. Lots of breath here to support the work you're doing. See if you can hover your elbow off of your thigh so it becomes an unleveraged twist. How do you find your focus in this asymmetrical pose? Hold it. 4, 3, 2. Chair pose. Bring those arms up, guys. Your legs are on fire. I know. I'm doing the work with you, right? Take the hands to the heart. Let's twist to the other side. Ooh. Find a way to spread the load, the work. It's not all quadriceps, it can be glutes as well. Good. See if you can hover your arm. Here for 5, 4, 3. Guide the right hip back. 2. Utkatasana. Ooh, moment of truth. We're here for 5. Sink deeper. Fight against it. 4, 3, 2. Forward fold. And there's a collective sigh of relief. Take the arms behind your back. Give yourself a good stretch. Inhale, halfway lift, fingertips on the floor. You're doing fantastic. Step or hop back. Your vinyasa. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, take it back, downward facing. Right leg extends to the sky. I'm going to change up the sequence. Knee to your chest. Again, slowly step the foot in between the hands. This time you're going to lift up into a warrior 3 with the arms extended back. So it's easy for the back body to turn off here. I want you to think back bending, but within a containment. So lift the belly up, cinch the lower ribs in, but feel this chest, your chest come up. And feel this extension in the upper back, this activation in the triceps. And I want you to bend your right knee as much as you can. Don't lose the awareness you found in your upper back and in your spine. But bend your right knee to your end range. Hold there for 5. Keep reaching through the fingers for 2. And 1. Just straighten the right leg. Ooh. Hold it. 4, 3, 2. Take the hands down to the floor. Set the left foot to the back of the mat. Downward facing dog. Inhale, extend the left leg high. Knee to the chest. Step the foot middle of your mat in between your hands, wherever it lands for your warrior 3. Again, finding this awareness in your back. So activate in between the shoulder blades to the QLs, to the spinal extensors. The arms are reaching back. It's almost like you're holding a block between your hands. Level out your hips. Straighten your left leg as much as you can. Activate the quadricep. Soften your face. Bend your left knee as much as you can. Find your end range. Feel the instability. It's all part of the process. And then slowly just straighten your left leg. Hold it for 5, 4, 3, 2. Hands to the floor. Step back. Downward facing dog. Exhale. Come forward into a high plank. Lower down all the way to your stomach. Exhale. Baby cobra on the inhale. So yeah, your back right now should be on fire. Tip the tailbone towards your heels and bring the work into the upper back. Mid-back. Hold it. 5, 4, 3, 2. Reach the arms back as you begin to lift the legs out. 10 seconds. Take the hands down to the floor. Tuck the toes under. Lift the kneecaps. Push up. High plank. Stabilize the spine. Hold it. Here for 5, 4, 3, 2. Lower your knees to the mat. Lay down onto your back. You guys are going to love this part. Both legs extend up to the ceiling. You're going to bend your left knee. Take your left hand behind your head. And then see if you can manage to touch the left elbow to the left thigh. Keep activation in this right leg. Lower your right leg down towards a hover. Reach the right arm towards the front of your mat. Lift the right leg up. And lower it back down. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Keep squeezing the left elbow to the left thigh. Last 2. Bring it down. Lift it up. Bring it down. Doing great. Lift it up. You're going to bring it down. Hold it here. Dig the elbow into the thigh. Now reach this right arm either overhead, which is going to be the more challenging, or reach it forward. For 5, 4, 3, 2. Both legs go up to the ceiling. Try not to touch the legs. Don't bend the knees. Keep the activation going. Let's double check my recording. Oh, we're still good. We're going to switch it up. So the right elbow digs into the right thigh. Lower the left leg. And bring it up. Bring it down. Bring it up. Bring it down. Bring it up. Try not to be overwhelmed by the experience you're having. Yes, this hurts. Yes, you want me to count. Lower it and hold. Reach forward or back. Squeeze the elbow into the thigh. Here for 5, 4, 3, 2. Both of your legs go up. Don't touch your legs. Don't bend your knees. See if you can lift your tailbone off the floor. So you're trying to create some space between the low back, the tailbone, the sacrum, and the mat. Now reach your hands to your feet. Lift your shoulders off the floor. You're here for 10. So you're balancing on your mid-back for 8. Strong body, strong mind. One can't inspire the other. Last 5, 4, 3, 2. Hug your knees tightly to your chest. And release. Beautiful work. Very, very good. That was not easy. Big breath. We're going to rock and roll our way up to seated. Let's come back into a downward facing dog. We're going to wrap this sequence up before coming down for a series of back bends. So downward facing dog. Take the right leg up to the sky and the knee to the chest. You're going to lower the right shin down to the floor. Take your modified side plank. So you're just going to weave together all the little bits and pieces. Grab for the instep of your foot. Lower just the left hand to the mat. Level out your hips. Take the right hand, reach it to the outside of your foot. Shift the weight forward over the left fingertips. Down dog split. Elevate the left leg. Knee to your chest. Find that activation you just had laying down on your back. Step the foot in, crescent lunge. Beautiful work, everyone. Hinging your upper body forward, come into that thunderbolt shape. Feel the activation, the containment. Come up into crescent lunge. Find your goddess squat. Cactus the elbows. Bend the knees a little bit deeper. Sink in. And then coming to a warrior 3 variation, reaching your arms back. So you did this already. Straighten the left leg as much as you can. Find activation in the upper back. Bend your left knee as much as you can. Find your end range. Hold it 4, 3. Shift the weight over the left heel for 2. Straighten your left leg, feel the intensity. Okay, take the hands down to the floor, step back into a high plank. Take a breath in. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, either a cobra or an up dog. Exhale, downward facing. Left leg extends. Keep the flow going, knee to your chest. Find the activation. Lower the shin to the mat, find your side plank. Take a bind or skip the bind, yogi's choice. Lower just the right hand to the mat. Take the left hand to the outer edge of your foot this time. Bring the weight forward. Take the left hand down, down dog split. You're almost there. Knee to the chest. Crescent lunge. Thunderbolt lunge. Lift the belly. High lunge into goddess squat. Cactus the elbows, so cinch in between the shoulder blades. Lift the belly up. Smile every now and again. Just remember why you're doing this. If you don't know why you're doing this, good luck. You're going to come into your variation of that warrior 3. So sending the arms beside your hips. Straighten the right leg as much as you can. Hold it. Now bend your right knee as much as you can. Feel the instability. Shift the weight over the right heel if you can for 3, for 2. Now straighten your right leg as much as you can. You can do this. You can do anything you put your mind to. Okay. Step it back into a high plank. Plant the palms. Exhale. You know what you're doing. Vinyasa or don't. I'll meet you in a downward facing dog. Exhale. Take a full breath in. And exhale. Okay. Starting on our backs. Okay, so we're going to start our supine back bends with little bridge. Tip the tailbone towards the backs of your calves and then lift your pelvis up. Inching the heel, or inching the big toes to touch actually. Bring the feet together. And then press into the left foot as you lift the right knee towards your chest. So find the hip flexion first and then go ahead and extend the right leg up. Keep tipping the tailbone towards the back of that left calf. Let's hold it. 5, 4. If you hear a weird walking sound, it's my dog Maverick. For 3, for 2. And then just bend the knee, put the foot down. We're staying up to tip the tailbone towards the backs of your calves. Engage the glutes. Those hamstrings and glutes need to work together to create stabilization. knee to your chest. So hip flexion here, and then extend. Pushing down, maybe a little bit more to the inside of your right foot. So the big toe and the inner heel. And seeing what turns on for you. So I'm feeling a lot more of the adductors, the inner thighs, that inner part of the hamstring taking fire. Taking fire. Hold it. 3, 2, bend the knee, set the foot down. Last 5 seconds. Let's elevate the hips a little bit more. Again, hamstrings and glutes working in conjunction here to create this shape. So it's like you're trying to pull your heels to your bum, to your shoulders. So that's hamstrings. And then you're just engaging the glutes. Goldilocks style, not too much, not too little, just right. Exhale, release it down. Whew. Maybe a little side to side with the knees. And then coming into Urdhva Dhanurasana, planting the hands by the shoulders. You're welcome to stick with a little bridge if that's your preference. So again, tip the tailbone to the backs of your calves. We want to try and work with that posterior tilt as much as we can to create length in the low back. Press into the feet. Go ahead, lift up into your shape. 10 seconds. Dig into the heels. Lengthen to the back of the neck. Last 3. Last 2. And come on down. Full breath in. Full breath out. One more round. Either little bridge or Urdhva Dhanurasana when you're ready. Tip the tailbone. Create length into the low back. And press. So if the elbows are buckling out, try to pull them in. It's really awkward to teach in this shape. You're just going to be quiet. Press into the feet. Last 3. Let's do. And release. Yeah, wow. That's really awkward. Trying to speak when you're in that position, it's not happening. Without doing anything, can you just let your spine settle into this alignment? Coming into a more neutral space. Let your breath be what it needs to be. Back bends tend to take a lot of energy. But mostly just because our bodies are not used to those shapes, so it's not second nature. It takes more work, more effort. Take the feet mat with distance. If your lower back, if your spine feels like it's in a space right now where it can continue movement, please join or just be still for a few more seconds. Drop the knees effortlessly from side to side. And then keeping your knees over to the right side. It's a great way to stretch out into the hip flexor, but also a little bit of stretch, maybe even slight compression into the low back. So gauge how your body is responding and adjust accordingly. The foot can come up onto the thigh if that feels good into the hip flexor. Making sure I'm still recording. And then switching sides. I have to adjust my recorder. Go ahead, drop the hips or the knees to the left. Gotta make sure I'm still recording. We're good. This is where when you're laying down on whatever floor surface you find yourself on, you're like, oh, I should really pull the vacuum out. Or the duster, or the mop, or all of those things. But before you get busy cleaning and organizing, just give yourself these last few minutes to close your practice. It's a well-deserved downtime. Awesome. Take the knees back up. You're going to bring the thighs up to your chest. And just wrap the hands around the shins. Very gentle compression into the front of the body and into the hip flexors. You're going to bring the right knee to the chest, extend the left leg long. And come into a twist. Just draw the right knee over towards the left side of your mat. Adjust with your space and modify the twist so it suits your body and your needs right now. Adjust your voice recorder. With every breath out, you just feel a little bit lighter. Just a little bit more self-aware. And then returning to your back, bringing the left knee to your chest, extending the right leg forward. Take a moment here. Exhale, twist. As we're bringing our practice to a close, I'm going to share something with you that I listened to in a podcast. It really resonated with me, and I think a lot of us might find it very helpful. And so balance is a bullshit word. You know, this thing that we're chasing, this work-life balance, having enough time for your work, for your business, also having enough time for your hobbies and for your family and for your kids and your dog, your house cleaning, all this stuff, trying to balance it, constantly chasing this balance. Bring your knees to your chest. I'm going to take both legs up to the ceiling. We'll close the class here. Legs up, either on a wall. Oh, that would be beautiful. Take your legs up on a wall. Take your arms up to the sky. Whatever restorative pose best serves you right now as I tell you about this bullshit concept of balance. So think of it or approach it from this angle instead of constantly chasing down balance. What she uses as a metaphor is harmony, and it's she used to sing in a choir, and so when you're in a choir, you've got different singers. You've got an alto, you've got sopranos, you have baritones, and when you bring all these voices together, there's a harmony. Everyone has a part. Everyone has what they contribute to the overall essence, feel of the music that they're producing, the experience that they're offering. And so, just like in life, bring harmony, almost a sort of integration of sorts to your life. So it's not separate, but it's integrated. And then find the harmony within that integration. And so, yeah, that really resonated with me. Instead of constantly trying to find balance and separating and creating a divide between these two worlds, how do we integrate? How do we fill the different buckets in our life? You have a bucket for your family, you have a bucket for your entrepreneurship pursuits, you have a bucket for your career, your job, you have a bucket for yourself, you have a bucket for your home, for your dog. And so you're not always constantly going to be filling every bucket all the time. Some days you're going to give a little bit more to this bucket, and then you're going to take it over, bring it to this bucket. But there's a constant harmony and ebb and flow between these different facets in your life. And bring your knees to your chest. And then come into your variation of Shavasana. I'm going to let you surrender into your Shavasana as I close off this class with you. So take that as you close this practice for yourself, as you give yourself maybe an extra minute or two to contemplate that approach in your life. And maybe you feel like you haven't been finding that integration or that harmony, and you're in constant conflict and always in this fight or flight mode. And can we approach it from a different perspective? And so I hope that resonated with you like it did with me, and that you approach all the different buckets in your life from a different angle, and that you find harmony and peace and fulfillment. Thank you so much for your time today. Thank you for your practice. Please stay in your Shavasana, pondering all things life for as long as you need. Namaste.